it's when you dig down into the nitty gritty of it, it's like, wait a minute, this shouldn't actually work. It looks like it should at first, but
Cargo cult spaceships.
But yeah, I mean, there's bits and mechanisms from your picking over it that seem like, maybe this could be resembling a teleporter. But you can't really say for certain. There's not enough similarity here. I mean, definitely it was harnessing warp energy for some end that clearly didn't involve, jumping a ship, because it's on a planet, and it is, as far as you understand, in a very limited fashion, warp engines. This thing is not big enough to jump a planet. Of course, there's any number of reasons one could develop warp-based technology.
Wait, so we knew about the...
Why would you do this?
What we actually knew about the race was that they were known for, teleporting individually... how exactly? Or, what was the story behind that?
Well, they would simply appear and disappear seemingly at will. Across... anytime they were invading the planets, they could appear and disappear on ships in orbit, on the planet surfaces, coming and going without a sound, without a sight. They're just there and then they're not.
That sounds very similar to Eldar. They've got the warp spiders, which they teleport around, and they have warp structures which they can teleport between.
Well, that would make
was
this a structure.
Do we think it's a
I'm gonna
smaller
go take a
version of
closer
how
look at the
you can jump a ship into the future, but only with a person? They suddenly appear, disappear, and then.
I'm not sure. So I'm gonna take a closer look at one of the alcoves.
Okay. Do an awareness. Anyone who wants to look at the machine closer, quite frankly, but yeah, do an awareness.
Yep.
Ha! Success!
What is with the captain's awareness today?
My awareness is 16. It's like that every day.
She's too awestruck by the novelty of the machine itself.
Well, typical absent-minded professor type.
Yeah, I'm gonna... Yeah.
Yeah, so... Zennith and Romeo, poking around the machine, find that, the captain poking around the same areas, but it's Zennith and Romeo that actually find them. The alcoves look like they have a number of restraints.
Yay, use people.
Okay.
It's like a warp siphon, I guess.
Oh, if you put people into it.
Yeah, just have you ever played the first Knights of the Republic?
I have
It's
not.
this is this giant machine which makes robots, but it's you use Jedis to fuel it.
The forge?
Yeah, the Space Forge.
Starforge.
Starforge.
Yes.
But in space.
It is in space, though, yes.
Wait, so it would they feed people too? something, or just kind of like...
Well, if it's got restraints, then I mean, it's not going to be willing. It's not going to feel good.
You also
mean-
do find a lot of, I mean, they're housed inside of the machine. You can't find any immediate controls for them. But a lot of, what's that? Oh, what?
Sorry.
Oh, like, a lot of, seem to be extendable needles or, sharp instruments of some variety.
Well, that's awesome.
It's like a medical lab type situation, or...
They don't look articulated enough to stick around for an exploratory reason.
So it's just like draining type sort of thing?
Well, draining, injecting, interfacing, you're not certain.
They're in the Matrix!
Well, you can go in if you want to try it.
No, thank you.
if you're certain.
You've yet to find a proper button to even try to turn it on, or off, or activate it.
Is there anything else other than
Do the
big
wax
fella?
on, wax off motion with the hands, like with the Stark.
Is there anything else in the room?
There are the little adjacent rooms,
Oh, okay.
which, you know, are easily enough investigated. There seems to just be a bunch of, well, there's a bunch of carvings in the walls. They look like words.
In the same sort of language.
What language?
The same apparent language as what was on the doors and the navigational displays. And then it also looks like there was a bunch of crap stored in these rooms, but it's been far too long for you to discern what most of it had been.
Is there any way that we can try to Rosetta Stone this thing? Because we do have some bastardized High Gothic, which we do know.
Like how can?
Well, I mean, in the other one, right? Like, we do have some. Maybe we can try to figure out what words are similar, what words are consistent.
Like how we figured out Ghost Engine.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
might take forever. I'm not saying it'll be a while, but we might be able to Rosetta Stone some of it.
Yeah, well, if someone points that out to me, I can make a start on it.
Yeah, I mean,
And take some video of everything while we're at it, so we can check it out later.
and you can definitely literacy what's here like you had been before.
Yeah. Damn it.
Yeah, you definitely have a very difficult time trying to figure this one out. The words, I mean, they've got like the right syllables and lettering more or less. You definitely seem like they would be pronounced like a High Gothic word, but none of them actually seem like any words you've heard of.
Aliens!
Not even in a base language kind of way.
I can't even begin to theorize anything that would indicate why their language is so fucked up.
I just picture it being like that episode of Red Dwarf. Thinks it's like an ancient language and it's just messed up garbage pot writing.
Well, the only thing I can think of is like, I doesn't really matter.
What?
Don't worry. It's probably not what I think it is.
My character, while this whole thing has been happening, he set up like a very tight perimeter around outside and inside the like a perimeter outside, watching for any orcs or anything that might come out of the jungle. been in regular contact with the outpost to see if anything has happened over there.
Also, we had someone on the ship watching their ship, right?
You have probably every single person on the entire ship just staring at the scanners, waiting for the moment that the orc ship so much as flinches. You're staring a gigantic orc ship in the face. There is not a single member of your crew that is not absolutely alert to this fact.
Okay.
Okay, then.
Also, if the orcs showed up, you would know because they have a teleporter and it's loud.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, pretty violent.
And they're louder and more violent.
So it fits.
But yeah, the astropath will be out there with Gerald, basically eyes closed, fingers to the side of the head, relaying communications back and forth from Victor at the outpost site. Astropaths.
Have they made any more progress on their end?
Apparently, they were able to get a single scout through the wreckage and down one of the hallways. They've been off investigating, occasionally boxing back about the rooms they're going through. They're not really versed in any scholarly subjects, though. They're just reporting back things they're seeing.
Well, I mean, obviously we would have told them not to touch anything and to be careful. Not that I think be careful is anything they need to be told. Like watching
Be
the
careful,
orc
it's the
ship,
best
right?
advice ever.
And people don't heed it nearly enough.
That's quite vague.
Well, if I knew what they had to be careful from, I'd be more specific.
Indeed, yeah.
Yeah, and the tech priests have been able to find a number of panels that they have exposed. Though now they are trying to successfully poke around inside without blowing up the planet. They don't know that it can blow up the planet, which means they treat it like it can blow up the planet.
Yeah, good call.
But they have been attempting to interface with the thing's machine spirits. Apparently with a lot of grumbling about having to commune with alien intelligences.
Well, I'm perfectly willing to do it if they're having trouble.
They're doing it in ways that you lack the means to.
This is that
Yes.
hardware upgrade thing we talked about.
Yeah, they're straight up matrixing this shit.
I failed.
One day.
One of them is sort of retreated into a silent, semi-catatonic state, but that's not altogether unusual for this level of investigation of Xenos tech. He was a little bit more adventurous than the others.
Yeah, more Xenos tech should run on Linux so that we can get man pages.
Yes, were you attempting to shut off the broken machine here?
Well, we can't leave it on if we're going to try and fix it. I mean, no one's going to stick their hands in there to try and make adjustments while it's sparking at them, which is, I would say, is a good call.
Why don't we strap some people in just to see what happens?
I'm assuming because your captain is not the usual rogue trader.
No. Well, yeah. That's,
Murder
Who
server.
otherwise would.
that's
We could,
I was
we could
gonna
put
say,
one
like,
of our- no,
that's
we could-
definitely a thing we
Well,
can.
We can put one of our cyborgs in. Like, they're cyborgs. They don't have brains. They don't.
Well, no, we're assuming that